We have scrapped WWE plans here for a worked shoot backstage fight, plus a new WWE Netflix show has been announced, and an NXT star is challenging for a TNA title at Bound for Glory. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. I lost a bet on Twitter. Good morning, Perksters. Now, on to WWE flavoured news. There was some speculation that Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley had a bit of heat back in the day. And Karrion Kross, in an interview with Chris Van Vliet, kind of quashed that, but said him and Bob, and mainly Bob guiding this, had plans to capitalise on that rumour and innuendo.
Yeah, so Bobby Lashley, right, had pitched an idea to Karrion Kross to quote unquote work the boys backstage, saying there was one time Bob was like, you know what we should do? All these guys, they like to talk and they like to run to the dirt sheets and stuff. We should get in a fight because all these guys are gonna go. All these guys are going to go and call the dirt sheets and tell them that we actually had a fight, and it's gonna stir people up into what we're doing on TV. And I was like, Bob, hold on a second. First of all, what happens if nobody breaks up the fight? And also, what happens if we get fired? Because what are we gonna do? Just the whole logical process of having to explain that. Having to explain that it was a work and hoping that the office would have been okay with it, that we did do that. I was like, let's hold off on this idea. I love crazy stuff like this, but please, let's hold off on this idea.
It arcs back to me to like latter day WCW, where you had people working the boys backstage, and trying to start some not some legitimate beef, some anything but legitimate beef, but give the intention of legitimate beef, in order to start some conversations turning. And you know what? It's one of those things where with the speculation that Bobby and Karrion Kross had some heat, the idea of them having a fight backstage would have been tantalising to dirt sheets.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe like after the fact, maybe they did sort of relay this idea back to them, because we've recently seen this stuff with Cody and Kevin, and them trying to be like, oh look, there was no WWE cameras here backstage, fans were just there and they were filming on the phones, and we saw similar stuff with Kevin and Randy as well recently. So I wonder if that has like played into that factor somehow, because it is good, because it does drum up a lot of online just interest and you know, just a lot of people being like, oh my god, have you seen what's happened here?
Yeah, it's that organic nature of it that would have really done it. But I think the way that Karrion Kross and Bobby were looking to do it was just to not tell anyone and just have a fight and then just risk getting sacked for it, which is certainly a way to do it.
It's creative.
It is creative. We're on the countdown to WWE debuting on Netflix in January. They switch over Monday Night Raws to the streaming platform. I think there's already on several Netflix instances around the world. You can kind of see there's things in place for it. I think I haven't looked on the UK one just yet, but I'm sure for some people it says like Raw coming in January. Oh, it's all happening. But it's not the end of WWE's projects with Netflix. Isn't that right, Andrew?
Yeah, so they've announced a behind-the-scenes documentary series for Netflix too. Nick Khan made the announcement at the University of Southern California Next Level Sports Conference in Inglewood, California, and the documentary will apparently be like a behind-the-scenes series, sort of similar to Formula One Drive to Survive, which I believe is like, you get a little bit behind the curtain of the drivers and the races that they're working towards, which I assume then would translate to the wrestlers and maybe the big matches that they're working towards as well.
Yes, so that's what we're going to be seeing, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. I enjoyed the WrestleMania documentary when we eventually got it. I like the way that they do that, and I think that they'll be keen to do more documentary behind baseball type stuff with WWE. We've seen it with the Mr. McMahon documentary as well, and it's kind of the story that, you know, this is a new era for WWE and they want to show the goings on behind there and in all its guts and glory. So look forward to seeing that on Netflix in the coming months. Now TNA presenting Bound for Glory next weekend. We're going to see our boy Joe Hendry challenging Nick Nemeth for the TNA World title, with now the added caveat that the special guest referee for that main event match is going to be a rival of both of theirs in Frankie Kazarian.
What? That's crazy.
That is wild, and I am frightened for Joe.
Yes, me too.
I know that Frankie attacked Nick Nemeth on Impact last night, and Joe came to his aid, but I know obviously Joe and Frankie have had history. I'm nervous that this might be a way that they don't put the belt on.
I was gonna gonna ask you, as the resident TNA man, does this scupper Joe's chances for winning? Because I guess, like you said, he does have heat. Frankie does have heat with both men. So like,
it gives them an out should they wish to go that way and have Frankie Kazarian maybe join Nick Nemeth and John Layfield in this sort of super group. So I think we're going to see John Layfield turn up.
Oh no!
Oh no! I'm not saying it's not what we want to happen. I want to see Joe Hammersley win the belt, but as well as that addition to the main event of Bound for Glory, it was revealed that the X Division title will be contested with a challenger from AAA.
Oh my goodness gracious me! Vikingo will go one-on-one with Speedball Mike Bailey for the TNA X Division Championship, and I can't wait for it. I believe that they've been in like multi-man matches before, and I believe the only singles match they've had was last year at GCW Joey Janela Spring Break, and it was a banger. So if they can carry that chemistry that they had there into Bound for Glory, oh my god, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
It's almost like Mike Bailey is a really good wrestler, and it's almost like Vikingo is a really good wrestler.
It's crazy, right?
And they're going to have a really good wrestle. In amongst that, an NXT star is challenging for a TNA title at Bound for Glory as well. It was confirmed last night that Wendy Chu will team with Rosemary. They've had this inter-promotional dance through the wrestling portal recently, and they're going to be challenging Spitfire for the Knockouts World Tag Team titles. We could be looking at a WWE star holding a TNA title.
I would kind of like that as well. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the tantalizing things to do there, right? Getting a TNA title on WWE TV would be, I mean, good for TNA as well.
I mean, they've been good at doing that as of late as well. You know, we saw when we saw the X Division title at the last NXT special. We also saw Jordan Grace, of course, with the Knockouts World title on display on NXT Premium Live Event and at the Rumble as well. So there's a good chance that we'll see that again should they dethrone Jody Threat and Danny Luna. Also, for Bound for Glory, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet is back.
Oh my god, that's like that's the big battle royale thing.
It's the Rumble. Basically, it's a Rumble, but with
intergender as well.
It's inter-promotional, intergender, interspecies, it's whatever.
Well.
There's going to be there's always some really lovely surprises in these Call Your Shot Gauntlets, and the winner gets a title match as and when they want.
Excited about that. Moose versus Mike Santana too.
They've been bubbling over for a little bit of Moose and Mike Santana, and they're going to go at it at Bound for Glory. A Monsters Ball match for the TNA Digital Media title with PCO facing Matt Cardona.
And TNA Knockouts World Title Championship. Jordan Grace, the champion, is defending the title against Masha Slamovich.
So it's looking like a decent card for TNA. Bound for Glory. Big weekend for them next weekend. Scott D'Amore was a big part of the story of TNA Wrestling, and this weekend he launches Maple Leaf Pro Forged in Excellence at St. Clair's College in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And it's going to be there where we see what is no doubt going to be a weekend of bangers once again. Takeshita's on the show, Speedball Mike Bailey, Josh Alexander's in the mix there as well. You've got the return to the commentary world of Mauro Ranallo.
Oh my god, my heart is full.
My heart is full. The Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena defending the belt against Giselle Shaw. It's going to be a banger of a weekend. I caught up with Scott D'Amore this week to chat all about it, how Maple Leaf Pro came to be. Of course, is the promotion that goes back to the 30s, but we talk about bringing that name back, future plans for it as well. You can check out the interview on our podcast feed, and if you're a patron, you can watch the video version as well. And you can win yourself a fight pass to watch the entire weekend of Forged in Excellence at cultaholic.com. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. He has a wonderful grommet mug.
Thank you. Look, his nose goes red when you put warm liquid in him.
Oh,
that sounds a bit weird. Never mind.
Isn't that the same for all of us? Isn't that the same for all of us? Keys.
Love you, bye.